I had an enema, I guess probably about 10 years ago now, like 8 years ago.
What's that?
An enema got like cleaned out inside.
Oh, right.
Water first up your arse and cleaned out.
Yeah, that's the one I mean.
Colonoscopy is with a camera that goes into your like it, bowels and intestines and all that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, thought that was the case, but I thought you know what I meant. But yeah,
Yeah.
basically, I'd have both of them to be honest.
Mm.
I'd play something like, alright, get that camera, fucking get cracking.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get basic medicals for like 600 quid, but they just sort of play the bollocks, you know, measure your heart, I don't know, whatever. Like.
Mm.
I remember we had a girl at school, well, just after school. She died at 17 from a heart murmur.
Now.
I've seen the article, and there's another article here that got me today. It was like, a woman got killed by a dog she was walking.
Yeah, I heard that, like.
Sorry, she's finding me, it's the next county.
Terrific.
Well, she's walking 8 dogs, like, I never thought of it as like a dangerous job.
We didn't actually know about it, we didn't hear about it. Was it just she was walking dogs and one of them attacked her?
They don't know exactly what happened yet because there's no one around. Obviously, the dogs can't talk.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't laugh, but
oh,
yeah,
good, snitch.
Yeah, the dogs haven't said anything, so they reckon it's one or two. Oh, did you try and get in my thing, by the way?
Yeah, well, I didn't even show up. Still couldn't you?
Sorry, there's no thermal protection scanner. They reckon 1 or 2 of them attacked her. Like, it's a pretty fucking out there thing to happen, isn't it? I mean, I can see how it can happen, like logically, but you wouldn't expect. You don't think of dog walking as a danger. You think worst case scenario, if you're a professional dog walker, some of the dangers of the job might be the dog running out and getting killed. Right? You don't think you're going to lose your life. Also, I suppose, you know, things like it attacking a child or someone else. You don't really. I mean, I don't want to criticise her because I don't know any facts whatsoever, but like, I wonder how big they all were, for example. Because I remember when I used to work somewhere, the family upstairs used to get their dogs walked professionally. It used to annoy me because they used to get their 4 little chihuahuas, their 4 little yappy dogs walked professionally, and then their nice rescue dog that it was like a Labrador that had a nice golden coat and stuff like that. They used to walk themselves. Like parading it around, fucking trophy dogs. Anyway, that woman was walking 4 chihuahuas or 4 little dogs. She knew what she was doing. It's obvious. I'm not saying this on the dive didn't, but like, I wonder if I suppose it's not the sort of thing you ever put any thought into, but like my mate actually, it's Dorman that I used to work with, Mario. He now got his own business in training dogs, like for all purposes. It's actually a really interesting job because he posts videos about it, and I never think of any of the shit that he talks about. Like he discourages letting your dog be too friendly and that sort of thing in certain scenarios, because if you're trying to train it to be a protecting dog, you don't want it to fucking be really nice to a burglar. You know, you see them things where people go, "Get him, go on, get him," and the dog's just being really friendly.
Yeah.
But like, I learned there's quite a lot to, you know, I've taken in from. I think that was for kidnapping. Actually, thinking about it. It's like, yeah, you don't want to let your dog walk away with anyone and just go and chat to anyone, because that's how dog nappers get them. Shit like that, and you know, you just don't, nothing that you'd ever think of if you don't. He's a pro, but he's a trainer. And I imagine he would be thinking to himself, because he's quite a fucking ruthless with his tongue sort of guy, to be honest. He'd probably just be like, well, you shouldn't have 8 dogs. Or, I mean, alright, it's not like they've all run off and overpowered her and they've all killed her, but so, you know, you could argue that, I don't know dogs, but like maybe you could argue that if there wasn't as many dogs, the dog that ended up flipping out and killing her wouldn't have been so anxious, or whatever, you know. If it was a freak incident. I remember when we were, me, Matt, Damien, and we were all bunking off school one day, all day around Mike's house because his mum was away in Spain seeing her dad. And Mike had 3 dogs, and 2 of them, like Loopy was the younger one, and then there was Jessie. For no reason that anyone knew, Loopy just started trying to kill Jessie. It was a really big. We can all talk about it to this day, and it's not Michael, but. You know, if I say to Damien or Matt, do you remember that time when the dog fucking, they were like, oh mate, that was mental. Because it went on for about 40 minutes. I'm not even exaggerating. Yeah, it was, well, I mean, you remember it, like...
what was the
I mean, we were like 16. It's not like we were babies that were, you know, we were bunking up getting stuff. We were all sitting there just really fucking stoned. And there was nothing happened, there was no noise, no nothing. And Loopy was really, the reason she was called Loopy is because she was mad. She would just stand there all day trying to jump up and bite the light bulb. Jessie was like a bit older and chilled out, and then like Michael was throwing water on it, like you know, just nothing he could do, and he lived with them, he lived with dogs all his life. He started, you know, eventually he started to pipe, so she just recovered within, like, you know, quickly. But there was no lasting damage, but it was like, no one knows what to do. We had to all get out of the room, you know, it was just mental for us.
Yeah.
We didn't live with dogs, me, Damon and Matt, you know, we were all just out of the room eventually. Like, at first it was just like, what's going on here? But oh shit, like, fucking, you know, just literally, I'm not even exaggerating, 30, 40 minutes. That's a long time for that shit to be happening as well, you know?
Yeah.
We know because there's a whole episode of a TV show went by.
What was the type of dog, the breed of dog, the brand?
I'm not very good with that sort of thing, but Loopy was a little thing, little white thing, bit of fur, like a coat rather than not like curly hair or anything like that. It wasn't a poodle, it wasn't a sausage dog, it wasn't an Alsatian. I don't. It wasn't one that's known. It wasn't a staff on it. I mean, we know staffs are friendly. Right?
American bulldog or
it wasn't a. Yeah, it wasn't a bulldog or a pit bull or anything like Rottweiler. Nothing like no mental breed like that. You know, it wasn't even a staff. It wasn't even. It wasn't a terrier. It wasn't an Alsatian. It wasn't a St Bernard. Wasn't a Jack Russell. I think she had a bit of Jack Russell in her. Thinking about it.
Yeah.
I remember Mike saying that because Dash was half greyhound, and that's what they called him Dash because he was just fast as fuck. Jessie was named after Jessie from Final Fantasy, actually. But yeah, back to the original story. Like, I can potentially, maybe something like that just happened.
Yeah.
Like, could be a freak incident where, for no reason that anyone will ever work out, the dog's just tried to just gone mental and killed her.
That's a shame, right? I mean,
yeah.
Horrible way to go.
Yeah.
Might have been slow as well, so fine. I can't. It might have been just like a bear attacks. It's a dog attacking you. It's not like one bite will take you out. It's chomping them at you for a good bit of time.
It happened in the daytime, and it was in a place where a lot of people walk dogs, so it can't have been like a half-hour attack or anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like. Well, Mario is a bit of a dick to be honest, but I know he'd probably say like, well, she wasn't strong enough for 8 dogs. He would.
Story, yeah. I know that they said that they got eight types of the same dog. They took eight. Really? I don't think they took 8 dogs, but they took 8 breeds of a dog. Unless they were all the same breed, I don't know. I'm pretty sure, and people it must have been a pit bull or a bulldog. Obviously, we don't know that.
Well, it said they're still trying to establish whether or not she's a professional dog walker, but it is believed to be that, you know, who walks. Someone who walks around with 8 dogs is going to be known about the town as well. But people are going to know straight away that they're going to talk to her every day, or every time she's got 8 dogs. They're going to go like, She's aggressive dog. They'll tell her quite quickly. But I mean, and the thing is, they did also say that owners of the dogs have been notified. So,
More than one, yeah.
you know, no one keeps 8 dogs. Like, but maybe, you know, Mario's what I know he would say, for example, would be along the lines of, well, she obviously, you know, it could have been a freak accident on top of, but there could have been an element where she wasn't up to the task of 8 dogs, and no one is, sort of thing, depending on what dogs they are. Or,
Fuck.
it could have just been a mental dog, you know. It might have just been fucked in the head. You know, dogs can get fucked in the head as well as humans can. I don't believe the whole thing. There's no bad dogs, only bad owners. It's just bollocks. That's mostly true. You just get arsehole dogs, didn't you? There's arsehole people.
Yeah. Finally. What happened here?
It's locked.
Oh shit, what's this? Ah, you fucking, what's this cunt? Fuck you. Fucking hell, man. Get him.
I want to shit myself.
Come on. Close this game. Fucking bastard. Dodge, you fucking idiot. Oh, fucking hell.
Need a stem.
Oh. Fuck you, yeah, fuck you.
What's that? I should tend to these wounds. An Imperial officer was trying to hide a relic down here. There was a cave-in. She became trapped and never escaped.
worrying thought about 10 minutes ago. That just happened in there would be something that a fecal philiac would thoroughly enjoy. I'll probably get a load of hemorrhoids for this.
Well, you would know if you did, right?
Oh, I mean, I've had them in general, so like, yeah, I'm not no stranger to shoving a pellet up my ass.
Mm. I think you totally made what do you call the pills that go up your ass? What they called?
Anusol.
No, there's a name for it, like suppository. They obviously made that on purpose, make it fucking giant. They did it just for a laugh. There's no need for it. There's no fucking need for it.
Yeah, it's just like paracetamol, small. Ibuprofen, small.
Let's make it bigger. Why? Oh, because it's more potent. Well, we can use 2 of smaller ones.
It might be something.
Honestly,
no, it might be something along the lines of it's got to be that shape, like ergonomically.
For it to...
If it's too small, it'll just come out.
I don't even get why it's got to be go up the arse anyway. Like,
because that's where it is. That's where the products
right,
are.
but it'll be like, oh, I've got a safe heat. All right, put this up your arse.
Well, yeah, but it's like cream or ointment or something. You put it, you apply it to the affected area. And I imagine.
No.
The arse, by nature, just it tries to expel anything that's in there, doesn't it? Like, after a certain point, if there's a point of no return, in your bowels itself, stuff can sit there, sure, like it finds a way to cling onto the walls, but after a certain point, your bowels, your arse just wants to, like, you look at some porns when they just push the dick out of their arse sometimes. It's just a reaction. It's like if you put a pellet up there, it was too small, it'd just fall out, and you wouldn't know that you wouldn't know that the pellet's falling out as well, necessarily. When I went and picked him up, there was this quite nice girl behind the counter, and she was. I said to her, I was like, "It'll be the best date I've had." And it was just literally a year since the first lockdown. I was like, "It'll be the best date I've had in a year, anyway." She was proper laughing.
Oh fuck. Get him Jedi battered, didn't he? Right? He's the shittiest Jedi ever. Kicked in by a fucking goat. That's not very cool. Jedi like. IKEA sent me a text like, how's your new product? What, that I just got 2 minutes ago. How is it? What, how did I make this? Hang a shelves in 2 minutes? Yeah, it's great. Great, mate. There's this fucking goat. Yes! Fucking sliced him up. Oh shit, he's in there. You can't. Oh shit! We've got a rocket launcher.
Are you playing?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
It's good, right? I'm pretty shit at it.
It looked like one of them games that it's a proper learning curve. It's like a nice one, really good arc.
Yeah. You see, it's like the Tomb Raider reboot meets From Software. A wee bit of Zelda in it as well. It's not like you can change it, obviously, if it's too hard with that. I'm just playing it on the normal difficulty. Sorry for me, like. Just back up.
You up for trying Fallout 76 at some point?
Aye, but I kind of put a lot of time into it, that's the only problem. I'm not be able to totally do everything.
No, sure. I just fancy sort of seeing. Like I've heard people saying it's the best game out now. Like, it's amazing. They've nailed the concept after similar to how No Man's Sky did after
5 years later.
Yeah. I mean, Fallout's made for that, isn't it? I mean, when I first played Fallout 3, it was the first game I'd ever played where you interact with people on that level, like everyone and all the decisions you made, and so I was like, wow. But then it was one of them games, probably not Fallout, but there was a game of that era that probably taught a lot of a generation of game makers. Like you know how like back in the day you used to have like third persons used to be Tomb Raider 1. Nowadays you've got people taught other people how to make games, isn't it? Just the mechanics, it's not just the actual technology, but the mechanics itself. Like, you know how blocky Tomb Raider 1's jumping was? Like all the ledges had to be fucking perfectly rigid for it to identify as a ledge you could grab onto. I don't reckon you could play it now.
Are you aiming for me?
Yeah, it's tough, like.
That's the thing about proper retro games, you can still play. I thought of that. Like Streets of Rage 2, Street Fighter 2, Lemmings, Worms, like the originals. You know.
16-bit and 8-bit is aged so much better than 32-bit.
Yeah, I agree with that, yeah. It's pretty accurate to be fair, I never thought of that. Maybe that's why there isn't things like Destruction Derby 2 out there.
And you can still play Sonic 1 and 2, like it's a fucking Nintendo Switch game, it's still great, The pixel art looks great as well.
That's it,
Music's
yeah,
great.
so smooth.
If you play like Tekken 1 or like Tomb Raider 2, you're like, it's a bit clunky, like. N64 games are not too bad actually. I played Ocarina of Time not long ago, it still looks pretty good.
That's probably literally why, isn't it? They're probably just like, fuck that. I'm annoyed with the whole the 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up genre played.
I think that there's a few out there, like indie ones, there's not a lot of Streets of Rage or Turtles level ones. There's a couple of
I'd love to have been a game developer like indie games. Like that's the sort of shit I'd make. Like Streets of Rage, that would be proper good.
Streets of Rage.
Like people would get the humour. Like if you literally just had like Gary, Dean, Jonathan.
One about totally game for the totties.
Yeah, and like the sound effects would just every time they get hit, it's like, ah, you bastard, ah, you bastard. Like, have a proper Scottish, like, and like an Irish, and it'll just throwing crates of carding at each other, that sort of shit.
They're total Cockney geezer, like.
Just like Greg's in the background, there's like this fucking pixel art Greg's.
Be great, that.
That's why it would be class. It's funny shit. Like Greg's would be up for it as well, I reckon. Greg's are a funny fucking company.
Even if you could do it. You could get away with a parody loft. You could do like legs or something. Neg.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Just do it slightly different logo or just
Yeah.
Meg, just 2G.
Yeah.
Just stand there doing something.
Help me!
You fucking want some, you fucking fuckers.
Usually ain't going in, you can't. Just make it proper sweary.
Yeah.
Just say cunt and stuff in there. Like it.
Yeah. Let's lift this a lift.
Did you ever play, speaking of funny thing, did you ever play Kung Fury?
No, I've just seen the movie, didn't he play the game like?
Oh, you so yeah, so you get how funny it is then.
Ah, yeah, I loved it. Okay.
I loved every second of it. I was proper laughing out
Velociraptor,
loud.
was it?
Yeah, just for no
Triceratops.
Triceratops, yes.
Ah,
What
good,
are you
like,
doing?
Hacker Man.
Yeah.
They were
I never got
to
to beat Ackerman's score.
they were supposed to do a part 2 of the Arms Schwarzenegger. I don't know if it's still underway or what. Like, Anya was meant to be the sort of push chiefy type guy.
That'd be good. I can see that working.
Was the main baddie not called the Kung Fuhrer? Remember
Pause, yeah, so I remember something about the Fury now. I
that?
forgot
Kung
about that.
Fuhrer.
It's absolutely class. That humour where they're just so over the top.
It's good though.
You know, Brighton, the hotel security guard has been jailed for life for a minimum 49 years for murdering 2 women. I remember this, actually reading about it. He was basically... Hang on, I'll just read the recap of the case. It's probably changed what I was about to say anyway.
He was killed by a cave-in. Imperial excavation is making these tunnels unstable.
He just seemed like he was just like a fantasist. He didn't kill people that he knew, he literally just went hunting for 2 women.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Just one of them fucking nutters that he was a security guard at a travel lodge.
Mm.
And it's almost like a film character, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'd have to kill more than 2 to be in a film, realistically. I won't have a film about you, to be honest, but that's not really the point. Like, say he killed like 6 by those means, where he was just that night watchman.